Hey, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk you through what I consider my favorite wedge shot. So there's no better feeling knowing that when you wake up in the morning to go play golf, so that you're going to play well. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing. All right, so one of the things that I have been practicing and focusing on in my game has been this 35-yard distance, which is kind of my go-to short full shot distance. Let me explain that in just a second. But this is kind of where you're in that, you want to spin the golf ball. Everybody wants to spin the ball and stop it, but then you get pretty close to the green, only 35 yards, and you don't know if you should kind of chip it, run it up the hill, or fly a shot in there. So I developed a 35-yard go-to spinny little wedge shot. I kind of want to walk you through it. Now, one of the things about spinning these shots is that you got to have a clean club face. I've talked about this before. Today the grass is even slightly wet, so it's going to kind of inhibit a little bit of the spin. Anything between the face and that ball will reduce the spin. So I got wet golf balls down there, but that's okay. Make sure you have a dry face. And if you're going to do this, if you're going to take some practice strokes, which I don't mind, make sure that if you touch the ground, you dry the face before you hit the shot. Always make sure you do that. Now this is about 35, 36 yards uphill, playing a little bit longer maybe than that. But what I want to see happen in this shot is I want to be aggressive. I want to fly the ball there, and I want to make sure it has a little spin on it so it gets up there and checks. But here's how I've done this. You know me, I like to reduce variables in golf. One of the biggest variables people put into these shots is they have wrist angle. They try to hit down on the golf ball. To me, that's a mistake because the hands can produce a lot of angle and speed and change the angle approach of the club. So what I'm going to do on this little 35-yard shot is I'm actually going to take it back with as little hinge as possible in the wrists and then accelerate the club. Now, I say as little wrist hinge as possible. You're going to see the club have a little bit of hand action, but I'm not using the hands. I'm letting the club kind of have a natural motion to it. I'm basically having dead hands on this shot. But I say that, it's kind of a dead-handed shot, but I'm going to accelerate the club from there. That's number one. Number two is I'm going to judge the length going back. Keep in mind, I've practiced this on the range. I go to the range and I hit this shot over and over again so I understand the length of the shot I need. So here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to take the arm back to right about there, which is I call 730, and then I'm going to accelerate the club through. Now what you're going to see, it's going to go a little further and you're going to see a little bit of that, but I'm trying to hit that as dead hands as possible, add a little rhythm to it and accelerate it. And when I do this, I get a very consistent 35, 36 yard shot. So here we go. So once again, 730, then accelerate. And we'll just hit these shots and we're going to run up there and see where they're at next to the hole here. Make sure you dry that face. I can see how wet these golf balls are here. Anytime you have a wet face, the ball slides too much on it, takes the spin off, and the ball will bump up in the air and not go where you want it to go. So make sure the face is pretty dry. That one was a nice one there. That one came a little more juice on that one. Dry that face. That one's a little harder there, a bit a little long. Okay, let's go take a look at those shots and see where they ended up. On the range, what I do is I practice. I basically get a bunch of golf balls. I take my 730, accelerate through, then I look at where those balls are, take a measurement, and that's my gauge for how far I hit that shot. This was my 35-yarder. This one I call a little strong, but look, at the end of the day, you know, what's this? Maybe 10 feet, 9 feet. So you got a 9-footer for par or birdie or whatever you did. So that's not bad having a 9-footer. But look at these other ones. So this was the one I actually felt like I hit a little harder than the rest of them. But look at the rest of these golf balls here. This one's a couple feet, 3 feet. This one's about, maybe 6 feet. And then this one maybe another 8-footer, 9-footer. So look, at the end of the day, if I can sit there from 35 yards, gauge in, and the longest putt I have is 10 feet, the average putting statistic from 10 feet is making 50%. So based on my math here, with that 35-yard wedge, I just got up and down 50% of the time or better, because some of these were inside 10 feet. So I just increased my statistics to inside 50% from 35 yards in, all because I have a nice little go-to 35-yard shot. And I hope you enjoyed the content. Give me a thumbs up. More content like this to come. We're going to work on wedge game, driving, a lot of stuff with your game to help you get better with a single plane swing.